Hello YouTube, Infinite Magicraid community, Gandalf here. Really sorry for the late video. Normally these will be out immediately right after reset. Passed out last night. Been running on fumes for the last few days, only getting like 3 hours of sleep each day. So really need to work on that work-life balance a little bit. Yeah, been really busy in real life with a lot of different things going on. So, okay, so this hero. Jocelyn, hero design, character-wise, yeah, feels like the cape looks a little bit weird, but other than that, relatively conservative design. Feels like definitely a bounty hunter kind of style. Almost have kind of a space ranger kind of look to it, with the hair clip there. All right, enough with the hero design. Looks pretty nice. Her kit, we got speed up, we got attack up. So from that perspective, that is a really nice, just in general, to see those two from an offensive perspective. Her personal damage is going to be decent, especially against boss. Basically, it's one of those, one of your, she's going to get into resonance stance. Once she's in resonance, she's going to be able to pursue and attack the enemy. This stacks up to 3 layers. So if you imagine, multiple triggers of Hunter's Siege, then the enemy is going to take, 1,000% of the damage. And this will be capped at the target of self max HP. So bosses obviously will have a lot of HP, and then basically you're doing 1,000 of Jocelyn's attack spread across multiple pursuits. So this adds up really quickly. Her personal damage is decent, especially against bosses. It's very notable already. She's not going to beat Marie's level of damage. Just before people start asking that question, she's not going to out DPS Marie against bosses. All right, just throw it out there. But she's going to do decent amount of damage. So say Marie's doing 10 billion, she's probably going to squeeze out anywhere between 4 to 5 on the same level of kit. And moreover, she's going to be able to bring attack up and speed up, which is going to be more valuable than today. We run a lot of penny just for the sake of getting that speed up on the team, and to be able to do additional resonance damage to bring down the requirement onto the boss. Jocelyn's going to be able to pursue much more reliably. Every single one of her pursuits is going to be considered as resonance damage. So much easier to meet the resonance damage requirement. So having Jocelyn on Sunday's boss against 7 Sages of Luli, she's going to, power creep and help us replace Penny for sure and get to a higher damage threshold for everybody. Now the other question is, we also have Rainai on her banner, which is really good as well to help with survivability. If you have Sultra E2, plus Rainai, you are definitely set, or you can just run her with a hat for the attack down and have like the deer pet as opposed to the wolf pet, and you should be set as well. So if you have Upsora, you can opt not to get Ainz, because Upsora still would out DPS, and you do need to run Upsora anyways because you need to have the counter attack component. So there's many reasons why you potentially don't need Ainz, or Ainz is still limited to, like, don't get me wrong, Ainz is good. Ainz just is not as universal as Upsora. So if you have Upsora already, Ainz doesn't have that high of a priority, and Jocelyn probably will have a bigger boost to your team. So hopefully that helps the decision makers. If you're really hung up on, okay, I can get a pity coming up, do I want to use it on Ainz or use it on one of these two heroes? I will prioritize. I still think Rainai is still more important than the other two. I'll prioritize Rainai over Jocelyn, then into had, assuming most of you have Penny. So let's go more into Jocelyn today in terms of the main purpose of the video, in terms of lining up the kit. So we're just going to quickly set it up a little bit, give a few heroes to the lineup, and let's just use the heroes that we kind of all talked about here. So let's throw in Marie, Sortrut here, and we'll put in Rainai, something like that. So you can see what we want to do is just line up wise. She procs off of when allies are doing critical rate damage. So let's make sure our direct damage dealers do have that. And in a way, this is pretty much a very solid setup. Having be able to do counters. You do need counter from Upsora. And everybody has a copy of Upsora. So So, you do need to have her on the team just for the boss content, even if she's at exclusive 0. So that leaves you kind of with fewer number of spots. You could, in theory, Realm of Sorrow with Ainz together and take out Rainai. That's definitely an option. But you can see the mechanic, the way it works is, her resonance is going to be gained whenever your team does critical damage. So we're waiting for, 5 crit, 5 points. Ainz is going to do a big AoE, I think. There you go. Now everybody's up. So whenever people are taking a turn, you can see her resonance counter quickly goes down, and it's going towards the marked target, and all of these pursuits happen. You can see up here, you will notice this little arrow here. That is the hunted mark. Every third hit, it consumes it and does a 20% of the target's max health, and then will cap at the her 1,000% of her attack damage. Now she's going to be immune to CC, so making her, like I said, it could be a possible counter, but in general, I feel like overall her kit is all right. Like, she's going to get an extra turn. The overall personal damage, right? 2 stages of this to the enemy, and then to pursuit attack. I still don't feel like, this is not that much damage. She also has Resolute too, by the way. I don't know if it was part of her tag or not. So she has attack of Resolute as well. So this is really strong in terms of one of those support DPS. She's not your top DPS. So you still want to pair her up with like a main DPS like Marie. So yeah, that kind of summarizes a little bit. You can, like I mentioned, Ainz's personal damage is not going to be bad either, right? With the buffs done to Ainz, his personal damage on this skill casted with Grim Reaper together, now you can build him into a little bit more speed. So the more you cycle Ainz, the more you're able to apply these debuffs. So yeah, personal damage wise, data report, yes, that's a little bit messed up, because Ainz gets a whole bunch of extra crit damage from it, but you're gonna, well, the personal damage is gonna be there, right? Like, assuming the same stat distribution. As much as Marie does AoE, Marie's gonna do extra damage onto the boss. So in a boss situation, Marie will go up. So again, I didn't specifically get the stats all properly aligned here, just because, kind of in a rush a little bit today. But hopefully they're all with their starting attributes, right? So yes, crit, they're the same. The attacks are approximately the same. They're their base stats. So, you can see where kind of the damage is coming from, right? Like, the pursuit damage will really add up from your team. And the faster your team moves, the more you're able to cycle through. So if you do choose to use Ainz, having Ainz there with relatively higher speed, will be able to proc Jocelyn more often, get your attack resolute. So that is more of a buff. Ainz, again, will have some of the debuffs, Severe Wound. Severe Wound is not really required for this particular boss. It is required for the direct damage boss, though. But yeah, I think Jocelyn also has a direct damage tag as well, right? So it makes her viable as a potential replacement for Blaze as well. So that could be a very nice addition, because does she have turn meter reduction though? We need Blaze for turn meter reduction. I don't want to give you the wrong information. Does Marie give turn meter reduction? No, it does not. Okay. Oh, but wait, if you use Ainz has turn meter reduction though. So see, you have turn meter reduction from Ainz, and this is going to be procced very frequently. So yes, it's possible. It's possible to even look at, a different setup now, right? If you do have Ainz already, and you can run Ainz Blaze with Jocelyn as core on that particular boss. So again, I feel like we're getting more alternatives now with the overall boss kits. So yeah, they're all really strong heroes. I think you wouldn't be disappointed with any of these heroes. They all add a lot to the kit, but you have to prioritize. My recommendation still Rainai, because Rainai again synergizes really well. I think a lot of people have their Elise now and have their Penny, and sometimes survivability is still more important, especially if you're a mid to late game player, where you don't have super whale stats or whale pets. Rainai is still going to be really key from survivability perspective. We're going to take one quick last look at the Echo as well. I believe it's not out yet, but I think it is in our gallery. So let's quickly take a look at her Echo. Yeah, so she's going to get more crit damage. If the owners for Unruly Outlaws, every basic attack going to increase crit damage as well. Whenever they launch the basic 3 times grant self Heartseeker, so increase direct damage for 2 turns as well. So pretty much, very much specifically designed for her, because if it's not for Unruly Outlaws, you're not going to get all of the ladder kit. So yeah, very solid echo as well. It's going to boost her personal damage up even more. So with that, wrapping up the video, I hope you found this helpful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Gandalf out.